Hello guys, it's me, Leo. Hi. So, on the next video, I'm gonna show you how to do this look. I know it's beautiful. I showed you last time how to do this look, this 1950s look. And I have purple eyeshadow, and I know back in the 50s they didn't wear that much eyeshadow, but I'm gonna tell you how to do this look with eyeshadow. And I also found my red lipstick, which is right here. Hello. And I'll show you how to do this look in the next video. And that I know that this wasn't the look that I showed you in the past videos, but I'm back. Sorry, that was my brother. So I know the last video that I showed you was very different. That was because I improvised and I didn't have purple eyeshadow and I tried to improvise. I know I used green eyeshadow, but that's just me, just with Leo. And that video was what I showed you in that video wasn't true. That was just my own ideas of 1950s makeup. But I wanted to show you how to do this 1950s look. And I'll get the wig and I'll get the costume. I'll get the polka dot dress that they wore in the 50s and the curly aesthetic hair. Back in the 50s, they had it straight and then curly, like not 70s. I'm not going to show you how to look 70s, although the 50s kind of show some aspects, little aspects like the 70s. But back in the 70s, they had that hair, not the hair that they it was not the hair that they had in the 50s. Back in the 70s, they used to have big afros and all that, and they didn't have the straight and the straight and curly hair like they had in the 50s. So a lot of nostalgic history that I'm telling you. But I'm saying that back in the 70s, they had the afro, they had the Cher era, and the Diana Ross. And Cher and Diana Ross share a lot of similarities. They were definitely both 1970s icons. Their hair, their makeup, their everything. Back in the 70s were such a glamorous era. And with disco, I love disco and I like funk music. Disco and funk are not my favorite genre, but I like listening to it. And I just love 70s makeup. It is sparkly. It is flawless. It is sparkly. It's glamorous. It's flawless. It is all filled with that sparkle. And I saw this on 70s makeup. Glitter on the eyelid and some on the lashes and some lower lashes under your lower lash line. That is incredible. The 70s makeup is so glamorous, filled with that glitter and that lower lash and all that. But 50s, they didn't have that. The 50s were a very neutral era. It wasn't filled with that much color. The 50s, they had red. Red was such a popular color back in the 50s. I know I wasn't there in the 50s because I wasn't born. The 50s were like 6 to 7 decades ago. Do I look like I was born in the 50s? Mm-mm. I was not born in the 1950s, y'all. I was not born in the 70s either. I just know about these because I just know. I have a great timeline. A timeline of 80 years of experience. Huh? And you're like, 80 years of experience? You are just, oh, people are like, you're over a decade years old and you have 80 years of experience. I know it's crazy. But yeah, there are people were born um who were born with a little time, people who were born a few years ago or recently, like there are people who are born in the new generation that have um that have more experience than adults, more experience than people in their generation, and more experience than people born in the old generation. Isn't that crazy? And I am one of those people. I am definitely one of those people because I have more experience than people born in my generation. I have more experience than people in my generation. And I can tell you that and I can obviously tell you that I was born in the wrong era. I always used to tell my mom, like, why was I even born in this era? Why can't I be born in the 90s and all that? And she said, I understand, but you were born this way and there's nothing you could do about it. Yeah, and you guessed it, I cried in tears. Because I didn't want to be born in that era and all that. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's just me, Leo. I People who have more experience than their peers and their family and people in their generation and the older generation were born in the wrong era. And I totally get that. And like I said, I am one of those people. I am one of those people. So let's stop talking about generations and let's start talking about decades. So, hi, Leo. If you're new here, hi, Leo. So, as you know, from now on, I'm gonna be doing decade makeup. You know, I love talking about decades, and decades I can talk for it for hours. And you know, and if you don't stop that decade conversation, I'm still gonna be talking about it. Ah! So, so from now on, I'm gonna be doing decade makeup, and I'm gonna be choosing what decade am I gonna do my makeup. Choosing what type of decade am I gonna do my makeup in, and so do you guys. So a I'm gonna do a community thing, and the community thing is when I do these things, like when I post things, not on my homepage where I post my videos, but where I post there when I post requests and all that. So I'm gonna go on my community page and I'm gonna type, do you guys want me to do 50s makeup? Okay, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna say, do you, in the next video after I do my 50s makeup, I'm gonna say, do you want me to do 70s makeup or 80s makeup? Don't get me started. The 80s, their makeup is like, ugh, a little messed up than my makeup when I first started my channel. The 80s, they had very bright, colorful makeup, and some of their makeup were very messed up. Like everything was wrong in the, in my opinion. It's my opinion. That's my opinion. But yeah, and the hair was all messed up and frizzed up. Back in the 80s, I know if you're new here and you don't know anything about the 80s, and you have any questions about any decade, I am here to answer them all because I have, like I said, I have more experience. I have a great timeline of experience. And sometimes I have more experience than people who are way older than me. And I have a lot of more experience than people who are older than me. Like I said, I why do I keep repeating that? So if you guys have any questions about any decade and are curious about any decade, I am here to answer them all. But let me talk to you about the 80s. So the 80s, bright, colorful makeup, a lot of lipstick, a lot of frizzed up hair. The 80s, they're not really my favorite decade, obviously, because the 80s really they didn't take care, in my opinion, they didn't take really good care of their hair. They didn't look like they took good care of their hair. Their hair was all frizzed and messed up and all that, and yeah, and the makeup was way out of the line. They put it all over their like eye area and messed it up and all of that, and everything was wrong. and yeah. So if you guys want to talk about decades in the next video I post, or anything about years or centuries or anything like that, I am happy to talk about it. I'm very happy to talk about anything that includes years or generations or decades and all that. And like I said, if you have any questions about decades or years or timelines, I am happy to answer them all, and put your opinions in the comments. Okay, bye guys. I love you.